right? Nobody has ever given an owner's manual to us when we were born. Human design gives you an owner's manual. It gives you a very precise way of assisting you to understand your design, how you were built, so to speak. So, the first thing I would do with a client is I would create one of these charts. And this is a human design chart of yours truly. And you'll see that it is composed of a bunch of squares, triangles, and one diamond, and a bunch of connections between them, and some that are colored and some that are not colored. Okay? So, the first thing I want to let you know is that all these little things, all these little blocks, triangles, and squares are your energy centers. So what's one of the first things you might notice about this?
Some of them don't have colors in them.
Some of them don't, some are colored and don't have color. What else about them?
It follows like the chakras.
It follows the chakra system, the classic Hindu chakra system. But what's different about this than the Hindu chakra system? How many chakras in the Hindu system?
There's only 6 there.
7. How many's here? 9. So we grew 2 chakras since 1987. Actually, since 1768. We've grown 2 chakras since then. So this is a more updated system. Okay, we look at things a little bit differently. The heart center actually got broadened, if you will. It got broadened into a identity center, and it got broadened into the idea of the heart center, or the center of the self. So we actually had a deepening, so to speak, in that particular area. The colors have to do with this particular person up here. The color boxes are, that pertains to a person's chakra as being defined. There's some definition. That person was born into this world with some knowledge and wisdom in that particular chakra, okay, or energy center. The ones that are blank, they are referred to as open. This particular person is open in those areas, meaning that they receive information from other people in that particular area, and therefore they can gain a great deal of wisdom from in that particular area. Now, the flip side, the downside is they could also pick up a lot of conditioning. So it's kind of like a stick. A stick has 2 ends, positive end and a negative end. If you're thrown a stick, whichever end you grab is the end that you're in, whether it's the positive or the negative. Now, you can turn the stick around and re-grab it so that you work your way to a positive. And the open chakras and open systems are very much like that. You can either extract the wisdom out of it, or you can extract the negative conditioning aspect of it and be conditioned by that system. I'll give you an example. So, I have an open crown center, okay? So this means that I can gain a lot of wisdom in knowing things. I can know a lot of things. It also means I can be like a squirrel and be like, oh, I'm gonna learn this, oh, I'm gonna learn this, oh, I'm gonna learn this, oh, I'm gonna learn this. And it has resulted in me being as one of my friends called a jack of all trades. You know, my whole life story has been like learning different things and different systems. So, however, it also means I'm open to thinking about things that don't matter. Spending time on things that don't matter. So that just gives you an example.
That don't matter to who, you or others?
That are not important to me, to my structure. Okay. Now somebody, yeah.
Are you a manifester?
No, this is a projector.
Oh, you're a projector.
Yeah, we'll get into this different systems there in a second. I just wanted to explain a little bit about the basics of the chart. So, Anyway, that's what a chart looks like. Also, if you notice, there are, some of these things are colored in, these numbers are colored in, and some of these channels are filled in and not filled in. That all has significance, okay? We'll talk just a little bit about it here in a second. So, here's this guy, Peter Pisa, whoever that is. And it says, it explains that there are 4 basic parts to human design. There's the type that you are, there's the profile that you are, there's your definition, and there is your authority. So the type means there's 4 or 5 basic type of auras. All of humanity basically has, when they come in, they represent one of 5 types of auras as you look at them or type here. And they have unusual names. One's a generator, which is the majority of the population. Yes, you're a generator. Dr. Cynthia is a generator.
I don't remember.
I think you're a generator. You're a manifesting generator.
Yeah.
I think. So that's just the type of aura and how they respond to energy. Okay. There's a generator, a manifesting generator, a manifester, a projector, and a reflector. Reflectors are extremely rare, less than 1% of the population. Okay. The next rarest type is projector. They're only about 25% of the population, and then the majority are generators and mani-generators. So that's the type of aura field of energy that we generate. Okay. Now, I will tell you this: as a projector, that type of field means that my auric field can project into another person and can know the other person very well. It's kind of like being able to have a flashlight and look inside somebody. Okay. And it's for the purpose of being able to ask that person the right question that gives them the response and answer that they need. That's the only reason I exist in this world, is to align with somebody, to either ask verbally or to raise within them a question in themselves that they need to ask or hear the response to. That's the definition of this type of aura. So projectors make great healers, make great, there's a whole list of things. But in my particular case, it allows me to be able to do what I do. Profile. Profile is how you show up in the world or how other people see you. It's the garment that you wear in this world. And I'm a 6'2", which is a role model hermit. So as a role model, I show up so that people can learn from me, I love teaching, so it's one of the things I can do, step out and be a role model. It also means I need my hermit time, where I gotta be alone and crash and do my own thing. Definition, when I can talk about inner authority, is the other really big one. Your inner authority is how you make decisions. It's how you offer yourself in the world. So it's how you make a big decision in your life. Like, am I gonna buy a new house? Am I gonna get married? Am I gonna enter into a new relationship? Big questions like that you answer with your authority. And there are different kinds of authority. Mine's what's called emotional, meaning I can't make a decision in the moment. You ask me a big decision right now, I go, I don't know. Not that I don't know, I have to wait. Time is my guide. I have to ride an emotional wave of highs and lows of the ins and the outs, the goods and the bads of any decision, until that sine wave kind of finally flattens out. And then I can make a response. Okay. There's another kind of authority. Some people have what's known as authority that they get boom in the gut and they know the answer yes or no immediately. No time, no, they just know, yep, I'm doing this, nope, I'm not doing that. And then the third type is somebody where it's presented to them and they go, let me think. Do I want to do that? They get a uh-huh or a uh-uh type of feeling. So those are your authorities, and that's spelled out in this as well. So you can see how this gives me a huge amount of information about a client if I'm going to work with them, right? So it's extremely helpful. So every human design chart has 9 centers, 36 channels, and 64 gates. So what else in your human body has 64? We're calling on you. Think genetics. What do you have 64 of?
Oh, the chromosomes. All chromosomes.
Codones and chromosomes. Yes, exactly. Now this is a quote from a human design teacher. I often tell people, I love this quote, I often tell people to imagine their human design as an intricate, precious piece of jewelry, sheer, bedazzling craftsmanship as created by the universe. And that's what we all are, is jewels, beautiful jewels. Okay. Now, some of them are a little tarnished, some may have a little bit of mud on them, have to be cleaned off, but this is basically what we are. And that's what all those little things are that are lit up in that chart. The 9 centers are the energy centers regulating the flow of energy. The 36 channels flow the energy and they enhance, shape, and modify the energy to very precise qualities, traits, and abilities of that individual. The 64 gates represent the DNA of your true nature. Now, some of those gates are turned on, and some of those gates are turned off, just like in regular genes. Except, in this case, energetically, it's not like a gene which, if you got that gene off, turned off, you're going to have celiac disease. It's not that type of thing. It's more, it is that type of thing in a sense, but guess what? Epigenetics says that you can modify that celiac gene. Okay? So, and this is a way that you can appreciate how to do that and work with it yourself. So how is this helpful to the practitioner and or the client? Well, pinpoints your intrinsic nature to get you to kind of, what makes you tick. It details the sorts of people who you click with and who you don't click with out in the world. And also the environments, what environments you're comfortable in and what environments you're not comfortable in. It reveals your true self's underlying nature, your preferences, your personality traits, your strengths, your weaknesses, your abilities, your dynamics, and your built-in chemistry. Because everybody is their own little biochemical factory. It reminds you of the needs and the feelings that you're either celebrating or resisting. Because at any one point in time, you're doing one or the other. It also explains how you can make decisions that foster happiness and fulfillment. So how does it show up in your life? So it can show up in your life in relationships because it determines the dynamics between people and allows you to see where's the synergy, the conflict that's going on, or whether you have anything in common. In family and home, it explains the differences in the siblings and the parents and highlights the practical and emotional interactions, say, between parents and children and husband and wife. So once you know the interaction, the dynamics, it's very telling. At the workplace, it illustrates to employers the different natural abilities within each person, which is a vital tool for improving collective productivity. Also helps the client in the workplace. Because if the client knows themselves, they know where they fit in that workplace, who they align with, who they don't align with, and that also fosters greater productivity. In the classroom, it shows teachers the capabilities of each pupil and how to bring the best out in each child, or even in a standard teacher-student relationship, any kind of teacher-student relationship or mentor-student relationship. On the social scene, it makes you aware of the magnetisms at play and why you are drawn to certain people and repelled by others. Except I think I wrote repelled by others. It's a little typo.
I really like that though, because it's
In a sense
also,
it is.
Yeah.
it's like how to work with that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll leave it. Freudian slip that was meant to be. So what's the result of not only human design, but actually all of what I talked about tonight? So the result is a deeper understanding of yourself and another. And I like to call it the other, because your connection is not only connection with people, but it's things, it's places, it's like work, career. What about your purpose in life? Okay, so it's really understanding yourself and the other, whatever that other happens to be for you. Allows you to be more effective and empathetic parents, friends, lovers, and colleagues. You know, you can now bring that degree of compassion to whatever you're dealing with, whether you're dealing with your own issue, diseases, or your loved ones, or your client, you know, professional thing. In short, the answer to our question, it helps answer that question of who am I? So now you guys are brought up to speed, and you can answer that question for yourselves.
Love it. Yay.
Good job.
Under the human design system, the overview, all those things, did you learn anything new about yourself that you didn't already know by seeing it in print or something?
Yes, I learned. Okay.
Because I don't know, part of me feels like a lot of those things, when you saw it, and it, like you had like this group and the numbers and everything, you're like, oh yeah, that explains like a lot of that about me.
This
explains that
was
about me, you know?
this was one of the bigger shifts in my life, was learning the system just about me. I mean, and then when I started applying it to me, and then I looked up my kids, and then I looked up my ex-wife. You know, that's what you do. You look up people you're most familiar with, and you go, oh, I only had a V8. You know, but not only did it teach me about me, but then I saw the application that I could use it for others. So absolutely enormous for me. Biggest thing, most immediate thing was, I never understood. Let me tell you something about a projector. And there's probably several projectors in here. A projector's strategy is wait to be invited. Now, that's really difficult in this world. Because what we live in a society that's, go get them, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you know. And you have to go do, okay? There's nobody says be, right? Unless you're living in a monastery. So, wait to be invited. I used to wonder, I would go to management meetings, you know. Sometimes it was 8, 10, 15 people. And we'd be going around, I'd say something. I thought it was a really great idea. And then it would be like, no heads would be turned. Yeah, definitely. The sound was definitely. And we go around another 10, 15 minutes, and some other person would say the exact same thing I said. Everyone would, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do that. And I'm sitting there going, I just said that. That's classic projector. Projectors have to be invited before they're heard. I could not do this meeting tonight. If I had this idea, Chuck, I want to do this meeting on this thing, and I sent out the invitations, and I did it all, I have one person show up.
I take that philosophy like with, I was a kid, like with jamming on stage or with your friends or in someone's house in the living room, or like I always tell people like, what does jamming and weddings have in common? And I never met anyone to answer that question yet, and I say it's invitation only, man. You know, and I guess that could be said with giving out knowledge or ideas. Unless they're inviting you to let it in, they're
true.
falling deaf ears. Like, so
It's true.
the
But the difference is, this goes to the core of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
So I went through life, and so I learned about this system. Not understanding just that one little example, which happened, take a social situation. You know, I walk into a room, I walk up to somebody and say hi, and they look right past me. You know, or they acknowledge me and they walk off. You know, think about what it does to your self-image, your self-esteem. Because what do? You think of all sorts of things that's wrong with you because you don't understand the energetics that are going on. Yeah.
Are you teaching this class like this, human design?
No. I
You just use that
The answer is
methodology?
yes.
the answer is yes. I'm told the answer is yes.
Did
I've
you
been
learn
invited.
Did you learn it from the guy in Hawaii?
Ho'oponopono I did, but not the human design.
Okay, because I think the guy who.
Well, there is a human design guy in Hawaii who is very, very good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've watched his videos and stuff, but he's not in the room on the phone.
I really like your interaction with the doc. It's like you're Johnny Carson and she's Ed McMahon.
So, anyway, Brad, back to your general question. So that helped, and then the other thing was knowing my profile. How did the other people in the world see me? Well, once I understood I was a role model and a hermit, that like went, hello, of course.
It made a lot more sense to you.
Yeah, it made my life more. I understood it and made it more meaningful. Right.
How do the two sides relate to one another?
She's going to ask the really tough question.
And you could just talk to, there were two that were very similar, 32.6 and 32.5, you know?
Yeah.
And then some were very, very different.
Right. So does anybody recognize those symbols?
I don't know.
The planets. Yes.
Oh, okay. All
Okay.
right.
So the details are this. Does anybody know what neutrinos are? I won't get too quantum on you, but so who can tell me what a neutrino is?
Isn't that the smallest particle, neutrino?
Not quite the smallest, but pretty darn small.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Okay, I'm calling you. So neutrinos are very tiny. In fact, they used to be considered to be massless, having no mass. Except very recently it was discovered they actually have a tiny, tiny bit of mass. But they're highly energetic particles. They travel very quickly, and there's lots of them. In fact, 65 billion of them are passing through every square centimeter of your skin and body right now. 65 billion per square centimeter. All the time, 24/7, without stopping. Now, they're highly energetic. They pass through you with virtually no interaction. They pass through the earth virtually with no interaction. Where do they come from?
Space.
Space, but the final frontier, but a little more specific. They're coming from an object. What object are they coming from?
Sun.
The sun. Okay? The sun emits neutrinos as part of its process of giving light. Okay, so the moment you were born, on the dark numbers, the black numbers, this was the neutrino field when I was born. This one right here. Okay? This is the exact neutrino field that was passing through me when I popped out. And you notice what it's called? The personality. So it's the personality chunk. It's the physical chunk coming out. Okay. The design occurs about 89 days prior in mother's womb. This is the neutrino makeup that designed me in the womb. So we have a design, which we call unconscious, and we have the personality, which we call the conscious. And so that's what those numbers are for, and what the numbers are actually referred to these numbers like 38, okay? If you come down, you'll find 38, and you'll see that that gate on me is on. That switch is on. So Chuck has gate 38 activated. But look, the channel of energy only goes halfway across. See how the other side's not lit up? So Chuck has a hanging gate there, as it's called in the terminology. Has a lot of significance. It's not anything bad, nothing good. This is not a good or bad situation. This is just what is. This is just the design. Okay? This is like some people are tall and some people are short. That's just the design. So that's what that has to do. The other numbers I won't get into, it gets really complicated, but it has to do with the I Ching and the different levels of the line that you happen to be on at that point in time.
Cool. Yeah. That's fun.
Any
So-
other questions?
I have a question because we chatted about this. And, hello. Because I'm right at this height. So you were mentioning, do I recall you saying that you had a special offer for people that came tonight? You were going to do something special if they chose to do a session with you.
Yes.
Were you going to do you were going to do some piece of this in addition to what you usually do?
Yes. So we have two offerings, I guess. Basically, where I can do a session that is, well, actually, I think we're just going to do the one thing, which is these charts and a healing session. And that takes approximately, 60 minutes or so to do. And that was
And so you're going to do like a whole human design reading?
yeah,
on a person?
So you would get this chart, and you would get this chart, which tells you who and what you are.
And are you going to explain what all of that
I will
means?
explain it, Lucy.
Because that looks cool and all, but
Here's your paper. Good luck figuring it out.
right.
I would explain it as it pertains to you, but what's going to happen is, because it's a customizable approach, I'm going to kind of explain it to you based on kind of where you are at right now and the reason that we're even having a session.
Okay, so like
It's going to be relatable.
roughly half the time is going through the reading, and then you're also going to do some energy work on them too?
Yeah, then I want to go in and I want to balance whatever's out of balance.
Awesome.
Very cool. That's very exciting.
Okay,
Okay,
so
cool.
after that session, what is next?